It smells behind Lupus and the hubby. Today we are starting our 6-week marriage series.
6 weeks?
6 weeks.
I hope we still be together after this.
Well, I just Googled like the common problems that married couples have. And the website, I'll have the description in the website in the description box below, but it's from Brad Browning. It's marriageguy.com is the website. So we're basically going to look at what the 12 things are, but I'm not going to do them all at once. That's why we're breaking it into 6 weeks. We'll kind of do little snippets of what he has to say, but then we're going to bring the biblical aspect in on it. So tonight we're only going to do 2. So we're trying to keep it short and sweet. All right, number 1 is overstepping boundaries. And Mr. Browning says that once a couple is married, it is not uncommon for one spouse to try to change the other partner, whether it's their fundamental beliefs, trying to change them as a person in general. But when you do that, you are kind of being disrespectful, hurtful, and like victimizing like their personal space when you try to do that. So the scripture that I found with that, because that is very common, that you try to mold a person into something, that you feel is like this ideal, perfect spouse that you're trying to change, but you can't change a person. A person has to change themselves. But the scripture that I feel is best correlating with overstepping boundaries is 2 Corinthians 6:14. This is the ESV version. Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers, for what partnership has righteousness with lawfulness, or the fellowship has light with darkness. And I feel like if you're with your partner and you have like minds and like beliefs, you shouldn't run into trying to change a person, because you've already established that you guys are kind of like on the same wavelength and you want the same things in life. Go ahead. I'll chime back in after he gets finished.
Well, first of all, you have to realize and understand as a couple what boundaries are. I mean, we have boundaries for our children, for those that have children. If you don't have children, you may have pets. You even give boundaries to your pets. You give boundaries to your friends. Hey, don't call me this late. Just don't drop by my house, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of times in relationships, when you're going through the dating phase or you're going through the trying to get the other person phase, you don't even care about boundaries. You're doing whatever you want to do to get them and to impress them and to show them things. And you go into the relationship in a marriage without the idea of understanding there are some boundaries that need to be set. If you don't have boundaries, well, a lot of people call it open marriage or whatever the case may be. I would say sit down and come up with sensible boundaries. Because some people will try to, that's my personal life and this is what I want. Well, then, you probably don't got with the wrong person, or you're about to get with the wrong person. And it's going to be a lot of headaches and a lot of confusion, a lot of sleepless nights. And man to man, you don't want that. It's not worth it. Life is too beautiful. And, there's someone out there that wants you and understand about those things. So That's very important. My son is in the process of, he just got engaged, and that's one of the things I talk to him about is realizing and understanding, that a lot of things are going to change once you come into a oneness in a relationship. I think Steve Harvey, instead of boundaries, he called them deal breakers. What are things that this person would do, and you be like, no, I just can't go that route. But you got to realize in the process of making the decision to be with this person, what was done to get to where you are, what type of attitude you had, what things you were willing to do then that you don't do now. Then all of a sudden you're different. Then it's like, okay, now we got confusion going on. It ain't about boundaries. It was all open at first, and now we're here. So when it comes to setting boundaries, it has to be something that you and your mate, your spouse, have to be sensible about. Mm-hmm. If it's to the point where you can't go through my phone and this my own bank account, that's more issues than boundaries. Yeah. Don't use that. Yeah. I got, don't ever go through my phone. Well, it's about being transparent. It's about being trustworthy. So boundaries should be, there's some personal things. And I'm learning. I have a younger wife, and certain things I ask God on a continuous basis to help me with that I could help myself with. And God said, well, you know what you got yourself into, So what we got to realize is, as couples is we have to understand what boundaries are with each other. Mm-hmm. I think that is very important. And my wife was speaking about being unequally yoked. It is so easy these days with the way America is and how we bring in people are raised these days. It's that I got to have it mentality right now and don't want to work hard for it. As men, sometimes I'm a little old fashioned, but today's men, we think, hey, pay a couple bills, give a little money, and you should be there for me. And it's chime in. I'm gonna let her chime in because I can go on and on about that.
No, he said it very, I think what he said is exactly right. It was a lot in the beginning, even with us. Just to give a tip, we've been together for 5 years. It's been 5 years. We've been married for 2 years. Ooh. Yes, Lord. And it was different because I had, I've always dated older, and we both came from, I've never dated anyone 19 years older than me. Never, ever, ever, ever. But we both had marriages before, so we knew what happened in our past marriages that we didn't want to bring over into this, marriage. So communication, you've got to have it to be able to set those boundaries. Let's move along. That's number 2. Lacking complete communication. So the difference between talking and communicating. Talking is about giving information without the need of a response. Communication is a verbal and nonverbal exchange of information that requires a response. So, and it takes more than one person to communicate. So the scripture that I feel that best, it's 2 scriptures that I feel that best goes with that. James, is it? Let me see. I'll make sure I got the right one. Yeah, James 1:19. Know this, my beloved brother, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger. The second scripture is Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. And I'm still working on all of that. Because I guess in my, past relationships, like I've always been like independent. So it's like when I get upset, I just really my voice gets really loud, and I don't even want to hear, I don't even give you 3 words probably before I'm like opening my mouth to say something. And I have to work on that and pray all the time about that Proverbs scripture. Like you just, it, like God put it in me, because I'm trying to learn now, like when he's talking, to let him talk, because it kind of got to the point to where he didn't want to talk to me because I would just be, I wouldn't allow him to speak. And that's not effective, and that's not good for any relationship, let alone, a marriage.
And she's right. Because I told her, we can't communicate. That's it. You might as well just talk all day than let you talk. Because communication is two people coming, not saying agreeing. We don't have to agree, but allow us to express me to you, you to me. I truly believe in that. This one word I truly believe in when it comes to relationship is being transparent in your communication, being able to talk to each other, how you talk to people. Sometimes no information is best information. When to talk. You got to know when to talk to people. It's okay if you're steaming and a conversation needs to be discussed to go into the other part of the house or the room and chill out for an hour or 30 minutes. I hear people, no, if it's on your heart, speak it. Well, calm down first. Mm-hmm. Calm down. Be sensible. Think about it. Be sensitive. And a lot of times, you don't know what your mate done went through, who they don't talk to through the day, what kind of communication they don't have with somebody else, to be able to stir something up on the inside of them, to make them to the point where getting on guard. And so, I try to take all that into my thought pattern when we discuss especially touchy subjects. There's some things, a lot of giggling and joke around. That's no brainer. Mm-hmm. But when it's come to sensitive matters and things about family or whatever the case may be, as men, we sometimes want to be so hard and so tough, and we're real that way, especially in the black community. It's sometimes difficult to really communicate on a soft level, and we've been taught that when a man speaks soft, he's soft. So we always want to be hard and vigorous in our communication skills and and so but I beg to dip on that. I even teach young guys that I deal with in the community. You ain't got to scream and holler to get your point across. You can talk soft. You can be in a clear, soft voice to get your point across. I always tell my wife, men don't like a loud woman. Women should be soft when they speak all the time. That's just, at least my woman. I can't talk about y'all like that.
And it's actually in the Bible, so look, I had to Google that one. Like, wait a minute, where is this at? He never threw that up to say it's in the Bible, but yeah, it's it's there.
So I would say communication, and you know what, and everybody's different. Days are different. You really are.
I'm sorry, but when I said that scripture was there, I wrote it down. It is Proverbs 9:13 through 18. So go check that scripture out.
As I was saying before I was cut off, that, especially with us men, we got to learn. And I'm sure some of y'all have been together quite a while, can still say you learning. It's not really learning, but I would guess, going in a different way with it. She'll be discussing something or talking, and I just be listening. And you ain't going to say nothing, or I don't know when to say something sometimes. That requires a comment. I just thought you were talking. I'm trying to just listen. So, communicating and talking is completely different. But when it comes to relationships, we got to have good communication skills. We got to be in a position to where we can listen to each other and allow our spouse or mate to be able to converse back to us regardless of how we feel, whether it's right or wrong, and all that kind of stuff, and you should be saying this and that. Well, you have to allow a person, because if they don't talk to you or talk to the other person, they're going to talk to somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're going to try to figure out, you don't never talk to me. No, I do. You don't never allow me to talk to you, or you don't ever listen, or you don't ever let me express myself, is what you hear. So, communicating and talking.
All right, guys. So those are the two that we're going to cover for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any comments, of course, leave them below and we'll answer them if you have questions for us that you would like us to cover. But the next week, should we say what we're going to do next week?
That's something you got.
Next week's topic is going to be declining occurrences of sexual intimacy and wandering focuses. So that is what we're going to be talking about next week. So until the next time, guys, I hope you have a
It's all about it, man.
No, right. It's roll tide. No you anything over here. So be blessed. See you guys on my next vlog. And that's it. Bye.